A different future starts with you. That's why GoDaddy does more than help you find a name. You can create, sell, and get found online so any small business can drive change or build an empire. Because old ideas aren't cutting it anymore. This new year, we need a new generation of thinking, your way of thinking. So whatever you have in mind that will help make a different future, find everything you need to get started at GoDaddy.com. Because the future isn't decided yet. It's still ours to win. Start different at GoDaddy.com.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
What's up, everyone? Freddie the Pizza Man here, host of the Pizza Man podcast. Now joining forces with ChristopherMedia.net. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, the Pizza Man podcast. And, of course, find all the podcasts on ChristopherMedia.net. We talk Detroit sports. I bring on guests, passions, opinions, all for Detroit sports and more. We even talk pizza. So thanks for tuning in and spread the word.
Christopher Media, let's make some noise. Welcome to Sporgy, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. And now, here are your hosts.
All right, welcome to Sporgy number 96. God damn, we're going to run out of numbers soon. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I am the Iceman.
All right, 96. Thomas Holmstrom. Come on, man. Wings fans should know that one right off the rip. There should have been no thought.
Right sport. I thought you'd pick the other player, though.
Who's the other player? I am a Red Wings fan overall, first and foremost. But, yeah, pretty good 96. There's got to be some fucking 96s in football.
Actually, no. You got, like, Mohamed Wilkerson, I think. That'd be about it from the Jets.
Well, how's that a no? That's a number.
Well, he said, like, a bunch. There really isn't.
Yeah, none that are leaping out at me, at least to my mind.
You have the all-time great 96. That was Charlie Conway from the Ducks.
Wait, are we allowed to use the word great in any duck in a sentence?
It's the damn movie. It's a little kid.
Okay. All right. Oh, wait a minute. What was... Oh, yeah, this is duh. We were sitting here thinking of shit to say. I said something else happened in the NFL, but I'll connect it in a second. What was Harrison's number with New England? Was it 96?
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
Because he was 92. Yeah, 92 in Pittsburgh.
All right, there you go. But it kind of proves your point, though, about, Jesus Christ. You got to really think about that. James Harrison's number he had before he retired, which is apparently what he's doing this week.
Only took 4 decades. He's retiring in what? Did he turn 39 last season?
I believe so. I believe it was 39.
Ooh, okay. I got to correct myself real quick. Harrison wore 92 with the Patriots. Yeah, that's ugly. All right, anyways, 15 years in the league, beating the shit out of people, making Roger Goodell have strokes and seizures. At this point, I think I'm going to miss the fact that he's not going to be there to do that the most.
Yeah, I enjoyed his shit talking. I was a fan of it.
Yeah, I mean,
I loved when he told Goodell, like, call me or what was his last really good one? When Goodell wanted he told Goodell to come to him. He's like, I'm coming to the principal's office. I don't do shit. You come to me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going upstairs. I didn't do anything. Well, I mean, there you go. Man was the same way off the field as he was on the field as far as personality.
The question is, so what network is he going to end up on? Where's he going to be the color man this fall? I said color.
I don't think he will, actually. I don't think he could be censored enough to be on TV.
Well, XFL.
Possibly.
Where? More than likely.
But it depends on how they. I don't think James Harrison is going to, unless they offer him a lot of money, sign off on an XFL brand of football after playing NFL football for 15 years. That's going to have to be a check with a lot of zeros on it. So
maybe he'll start a new little league. Maybe he'll start a new Pop Warner league where you're allowed to hit each other.
Well, Monday Night Football spot's still open, and I read a blurb about how Brett Favre auditioned and didn't do very well at all. So, I mean, if they're looking for former players, I'd call them. Why not? What's the worst that can happen?
You know what, though? I would give Tony Romo the job. That man's awesome at commentating.
I mean, dude, he is fucking... It is ridiculous. Like, there's just YouTube videos of highlights of him telling the audience, this is the play that's going to happen. And it happens just like he says, over and over and over.
It really does.
That man saw the field. I did not realize how high that man's football IQ was. That man saw the field like X's and O's. So, seriously.
Yeah, it's almost like
it's probably already been made, but probably 1,000 Dallas fans going, "What the fuck was this?"
it's
we can do this
like,
on the field,
right? He almost sees it as remember that game with the little men that stood still and air blew them all over the place.
Is it about a video game?
No, it's like a board game, but it wasn't. It was a real early football game.
Oh, you're talking the rumble or the vibrating football.
Yeah.
You set it up and you turn it on and it vibrates. Yeah. Tabletop football.
Right. And when shit went wrong, Tony would come on and be like, okay, here's what it meant to happen. This is what happened, and this is why. It's like you're watching and learning all at the same time. By the end of the fucking game, you're like, hell, I could coach. Tony just helped me understand everything.
I did hear somebody call in on Local Sports Talk during last season and call him this generation's John Madden.
John Madden.
See, I thought that was Gruden.
See, to me, Madden, because Madden would, whip out the telestrator or whatever, and he start pointing shit out and drawing arrows and shit, like you're a little kid, and X's and O's guy, Gruden, yeah. So is he this generation's Gruden, and Gruden's our generation's Madden? I don't know.
Madden was entertaining because he was stupid. He always knew what to say, he just never knew how to say it. And that's where and you see this guy over here, and then you turn around and he goes left and you should have gone right, and boom, sacked. It's like, what? It's like you watched a play, you had it in your head, you know that the shit went wrong and why, and then Madden starts talking and you're like, I need to lay down. What the fuck?
Pretty much, man. And he never got a whiff of fucking Brett Favre's balls that he didn't have to run over in the corner and rub his nipples. I mean, yeah. Jesus God.
If you ever get a chance, listen to Frank Caliendo do the story on him. Oh, it was hilarious. When he impersonates Madden, and he's just like, and that's why Madden always relates everything back to Brett Favre.
It's like
the curvature of the earth and how it pulls you and throws you around kind of reminds me of Brett Favre. You take it when you throw the ball, and he cracks me up. No, man, but listening to Tony, I'm like, this is going to be a train wreck. And then I listened to the first game, and I'm like, damn, Tony, just give away everybody's strategy before the snap.
Some hidden talents, man. Shit you don't know about. I'm saying,
man, the teams need to start putting a mic in the booth.
I was kind of wondering, is it illegal to watch Monday Night Football on feed? And then on the radio calling it up to the head coach. Hey, coach, Romo says they're going to run this. Counter with this. Oh, shit.
I do not mean to shit on your joke, but my guess is probably all the delays and shit would probably not make that feasible.
Well, that's what I said. They'd have to start doing some real Patriot shit. like bending rules until they break to try to get the live feed and be like, it's crazy. We turned on the TV and the live feed was there. What do you want from us?
Well, you'd have to find a broadcast feed with no delay, and that's pretty much fucking impossible.
Well, that's why I said they just put a mic in the booth. If they had a hidden microphone in the booth, they wouldn't even need to turn on a TV. Just put an earpiece in the coach's ear and.
But yeah, but then that's going deeper than Spygate, man. That's
Mike-gate.
Oh shit! That's because you know what though? I can't put it past New England. I can't. Seriously, as them motherfuckers find ways around the rule book, like the mafia.
And I could just see it too. Fucking Belichick come out. It didn't mean to happen. Our clown guy was around the booth and he dropped the mic. I don't, you know.
I'm telling you, he's going to be like, I don't know. I put my earpiece in and all of a sudden I heard Tony Romo saying what play they were going to run. It's crazy. No more questions. We have Cincinnati next week.
I mean, Tony never talks so loud.
That's exactly how that shit would happen, man. But no, seriously, like like because Belichick's like the Godfather, right? So I don't know. Maybe Garoppolo.
I don't know what happened.
Maybe Garoppolo owes him a favor and he calls it in. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy G goes up in the broadcast booth and yeah. Let me drop this mic because Godfather Belichick told me I had to. You know, who fucking knows, man?
Somebody calls him on it, wakes up with the horse head in the bed.
Wake up with Rex Ryan's head in your bed, more likely. But, okay.
Damn.
But no, all the way back to Harrison. I think watching the fear of everybody on the offense as they looked into his eyes, I'm going to miss that because they knew. Maybe not so much in the later years, but in the early years, man, that guy could fucking hit.
How many people lined up against him that probably just went, shit, God damn it.
If they weren't from the first snap they lined up, or the first play they lined up against him, they were by the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, we're like, oh, this motherfucker, Jesus Christ.
Because
game over yet?
Athletes are too cocky. You know, they hit the field thinking, ain't no one going to stop me. And then they're like, I'm Superman. And then they line up against Superman. And they're like, oh, shit. This motherfucker.
No, what I meant to say is I'm doing super, man. Yeah, that hit didn't hurt me that bad.
No, it just had to be one of those situations where you're just like, you know, you especially in this heyday, you go in, you know, you're ready, you're pumped, and then after one play, you're just, fuck, this is going to be the longest fucking game.
Yeah, well, that's how come you had so many guys that were so quick to say he was dirty. Dirty. If you're a defensive player and they call you dirty, that's a compliment. That means you're too good for them. So they got to make up some bullshit.
Yeah, just, you know, I think of the history of football, and I mean, there are a few guys in history that you just, even if you line up, you know, beside them, you want to get it the hell out of their way. You just, at no point, no time do you want to be hit by this person. If you're tackling a guy and you see him running, you let the guy go. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm talking about people like Mike Singletary, Harrison, Ray Lewis, Dick Butkus.
Yeah, but you're talking about like the gods of Mount Olympus of fucking NFL defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right there, see? So
Lawrence Taylor.
The question doesn't even need to be asked. First ballot Hall of Famer?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
What else does he need? He has tackles, sacks, rings. Yeah,
no question.
If he's not on that first ballot, to me, that makes the NFL Hall of Fame look like some old bullshit.
Well, let's be honest. Isn't it kind of already kind of like the perception of it generally? I've heard people say the NFL Hall of Fame is like the anybody gets in Hall of Fame compared to the rest of the sports.
Yeah, well, Todd said it on the show when he was on. He said he feels like the NFL Hall of Fame, as long as you campaign long enough, eventually you will get in. And
I tend to agree. I mean, there's some people in there that I'm like, who? But
yeah,
you know,
it's always like the marquee guys. first, second year eligible. Then there's like the Veterans Committee, for lack of a better way to put it. And then there's like, and this punter from 1908. And you're like, okay, good, put him in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or somebody or somebody like Lomas Brown. It's like, dude, he was not a Hall of Fame player. There's a lot of guys in there. You're like, there's definitely been a few classes where you're like, what was it? Was the field a little thin this year, guys?
You just didn't want to be stingy. You were tired of them bitching. What's the word?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't know the in and out workings of the NFL Hall of Fame as well as I do like the Baseball Hall of Fame. Baseball Hall of Fame, it's a soap opera just watching that time of year. All the sports writers start going back and forth because everybody's got the reason to keep people out and this person needs to go in, this person should have been in, and et cetera, et cetera. See, football, I don't think it's that big of a deal in like sports reporting. It's just, hey, these are our picks, deal with it.
Unless you piss somebody off, Terrell Owens. It took him, 3 tries?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Harrison doesn't go in on his first eligibility, then it's some ticky tack bullshit, man. And that's kind of why it's like, to me, I kind of agree with Todd. When you say a player's name in a group of guys who follow sports and ask Hall of Famer, either they're going to answer yes or they're going to answer no. Very few are going to be like, unless you're picking nitpicky people. I said James Harrison. We all three were like, yup.
Right. But
to me, Hall of Fame in any sport is not something that requires a answer. It should be definitively yes or no. There should be no hemming and hawing or being on the fence when you talk any Hall of Fame.
The thing about Football Hall of Fame is if you weren't the marquee player, if you weren't literally a first ballot, they'll let you in a lot later. And sometimes they don't let you in at all. You just fall off of eligibility. But if they're going to let you in, like everybody gets in type thing with this, they let you in a whole lot later. But to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, that is where, the prestige comes in. And to be that, I think you got to be someone like Harrison. Someone, when we say James Harrison, all three of us, oh, shit, yeah, ooh. Somebody you'll never, ever, ever, ever want to be hit by. You don't even want to be hit by him and his walker. At that point, you're like, yeah, first ballot.
That motherfucker's going to have he's going to strap up with the fucking, what is it, the shit where they, clear and hit you with the paddles, the EKG, whatever. He's going to have one of them backpacks. He's going to be 96 years old and in some retirement home, running up and down the stairs and shit. Still getting hit with those things. People come over and be like, Mr. Harrison, you didn't eat your vegetables. He's like, I fucking know I didn't. They're going to be like, okay, sir, that's fine. Everybody else, they'd make him try to eat him and shit. Seriously, he's going to be running shit, man. Watch. Either that or that motherfucker's going to... I hope he really... Man, I hope he don't go like the George Foreman way. Like in 20 years, James Harrison grills. And your grandmother likes him and shit. It's like, no.
Unfortunately, James Harrison grills you can't cook anything on. They're part of your mouth.
Exactly.
It's just the teeth that say, fear me.
That's what we should do. We should market James Harrison's Wake Up Jacked Grill. Make some money for the show. Send it to him. Say, like, hey, on this show we talk about you very respectfully, with a little bit of fear. And, hey, look, we're talking about people that wake up jacked, and you wake up jacked. And we need you to promote this grill for us.
How do you combine breakfast food, cocaine, and a grill?
Oh, okay. All right, Mr. Corporate World. You bring up cocaine to him. I value my teeth.
No, wake up jack. Okay, fine. Then maybe it's a partnership with like Red Bull, some kind of energy drink.
That's fucked up. If cocaine had a lobbyist, like an advertising lobby, I think they'd probably advertise on a couple Christopher Media shows. That's what's fucked up. We can be groundbreaking. Legalized medicinal cocaine. There you go.
It serves no purpose, but you lose weight quick.
Yes, it does. It's an appetite suppressant. Oh shit! But I don't know, man. I would be interested to see his personality in front of a camera, just because I don't think he's a wilting flower whatsoever. But
Actually, I'm going to think we already have, because one of those people you never want to be hit by, one of those first ballot, Warren Sapp. I think he would look just like him. It's like, Warren, you have no place on my TV.
For the greatest football show ever, hosted by James Harrison and Ray fucking Lewis. That's waking up, Jack, guys.
That's the name of their show.
You know what? I just want to hear a conversation about football between those two. Just once. I don't care about anything else. I just want to hear the conversation about football.
There we go. We got to get him to do a podcast. And he can have on other dirty NFL players. There you go. See? We're making moves.
Rub some dirt on it with James Harrison.
Oh, you ain't dead with James Harrison. Oh, shit.
ATFO'd with Ray Lewis.
Still breathing? Yeah. Get up with James Harrison.
No, if it was Ray Lewis now, it would be no weapon wielded against us shall prosper with Ray Lewis, It'd be some shit like that.
No, seriously, I want to hear that conversation, because they would sit there and be like, oh, that pussy. Look at him run left.
You want to hear real conversation. You don't want to hear shit they're going to put on TV. Ray Lewis is far enough removed from his last NFL contract that he knows he has to play a certain role on TV. I don't think you're going to see that level of real out of Ray Lewis for quite some time yet. Seriously. He doesn't have fuck you money anymore. James Harrison might have enough fuck you money left to go. You want to know how it is in the NFL? It's some old bullshit. And mean that shit.
No, Ray Lewis actually does have fuck you money, because he's part of that Ravens organization now. That's the problem. He's so high up in that organization now, he doesn't have a fuck you spot. When he was just middle linebacker Ray Lewis, look at me the wrong way and I'm going to punch you, that guy, that was fine. But now, he's executive, he's got the suit and tie, and he's got the prestige, and he can't even say fuck you, let alone be candor with it,
That's what I'm saying, man. He's not. You're going to hear real shit on camera, on the record, from Ray Lewis for quite a while. That's what sucks. It'd be very interesting.
You got to get Ray at a bar in Baltimore, get a couple shots on him.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It'd be very interesting just to be sitting at the table next to those two talking football.
Yes, it would.
Because you probably hear, and that's when I made my 15th appearance on oh shit, what was the Monday Night Football segment? Jacked up.
Yeah, you just got jacked, something like that.
Yeah. All right, so going from one player who seems like universally has our respect, and I would hope most of the fucking football fans respect. Look, the man's retired now. This is another thing. He's retired now. He's no longer playing against your team. I hated Patrick Waugh. I hated Joe Sakic. I hated Peter Forsberg. I can admit all three of them are first ballot Hall of Famers, though. But when they were playing, fuck them. Fuck them in their ear. Fuck them in their fuck them in their ear. Fuck them in their other ear. Drill another hole in the head, and I'll fuck that too. You know what I'm saying?
It's a mafia show. I want them dead. I want them buried. I want their families dead. I want their friends dead.
But seriously, when all the bullshit's over and they're no longer playing, if you respect the sport and you're a true fan of the sport, you should be able to go, okay, look, yeah, I hated you like a motherfucker back in the day, and I lost some money on you too. But anyways,
you're good as
Good
fuck.
player. Yeah, I can't fuck with you on that, man.
Yeah, boy got skills. I'm just saying.
But that's pretty much just why I acquiesced to Brady. I used to hate him so much. And after, title number 4, you're like, well, all right. I may not be a fan of you, but I will be on the wrong side of history.
Let's put it this way. He was a quote-unquote Michigan man, so I was told I was supposed to feel some pride. And I was like, whatever. He's a good quarterback to watch. And he's part of a great organization. And then he just started to annoy me. And now he's in Tom Cruise territory with this TB12 shit. He's like an oddity to me. I'm like, really? And kissing his son on the mouth for like 30 seconds or whatever the fuck. Way too long. Sorry. If you're not changing that child's diapers, don't be giving it kisses on the mouth, all right? But anyways, I digress. So let's go from a player universally respected to one who, at least I'm thinking I'm fucking tired of hearing about.
Oh, no.
But he's in the news again.
Do we have to?
Well, yeah, we need to at least address the story, which is Colin Kaepernick had a tryout and an interview?
From what I heard, he had a tryout with the Seahawks. I'm not sure if it was an interview, but
I'm guessing part of the tryout is probably they do sit down and talk to you with the head coach, GM, maybe even the owner. If you're Colin Kaepernick, excuse me. I mean, if you're just some fucking, third string player they're going to sign, no. But I'm sure the people running the show were like, let's have a talk.
we need to sit down for a minute.
Because that's the only way I can think of it. The question of whether he's going to continue to kneel or not came up, and he said, what was the exact quote?
I can't guarantee I'm not going to.
Hold on. I don't want to misquote, man. Wow, they managed to bury the fuck out of this story in 2 days. Jesus Christ. Adidas said they'll sponsor him if he gets an NFL deal. Goodell got deposed this week.
Okay, hold on. You're absolutely right. I had to dig. There was a workout. Okay, so this is from Slate. Yes, I know it's not a sports one, but whatever. And take it with a grain of salt. Look it up yourself. Check to see what bias they have. I don't want to fucking hear it besides that. From Slate.com, former 49ers cornerback Colin Kaepernick was set to have a workout with Seattle Seahawks on Monday, but the team canceled on the eve of the planned visit. The reason for cancellation, a source with knowledge of the situation told Slate on Thursday, was that Kaepernick would not commit to ending his protest during the national anthem next season. There was a workout that was scheduled for about 2 weeks. Travel was arranged. Everything was set for the workout on Monday. Then on the eve of the workout, Seattle called and said, as a precondition, he needs to stop kneeling, the source told Slate. He wouldn't agree to it, and they canceled it on Monday. So.
Now, I mean, while I agree with the man's freedom of expression, the question he's got to ask himself, do you want to be a football player or an activist? Because it's pretty apparent at this point you're not going to be allowed to be both.
Yeah.
And come on, if Seattle, one of the most liberal cities in the fucking country, told you, hey, thanks but no thanks, good fucking luck, dude.
Well, I think we said that when this first started. We said if he was in any other city except for maybe Seattle, they'd tear him apart.
But he was already ready to sign with the Ravens before his sister jumped all over their ass. Here's the thing. Colin Kaepernick doesn't want to play football anymore. He's a bigger name not playing than he is if he played.
I got to agree with you on that, man, because I'm just sitting here. Yeah. I'm sitting here thinking that it gives him more cred as a social justice warrior, okay, or whatever the fucking non-derogatory and derogatory prerogative and whatever fucking tired derogatory term is. Because every time he's ready to talk to somebody or sign, what happens? You said last time his sister spoke out, his girlfriend spoke out. Now a source is coming out, but it's never coming from him. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's people on his behalf go, wait a minute, let me throw this out there and still see if they hire him. No, we're not going to hire him now. See what they're doing?
It's a game. They're oppressing the black man.
It ain't even about that at this point, dude. It's a game. It's fucking, this is how people, I don't know if Colin Kaepernick's dumb. I don't know if he believes this shit. To me, it doesn't matter anymore. He might as well have a hand up his ass or strings attached to every fucking joint on his body. He's a puppet at this point. And it's just getting pathetic because he's getting used by people who are supposedly close to him, but should realize, look, if you want to be an activist, go be an activist. Don't ruin your boyfriend's career to try to fucking prop you up as some sort of, woke activist. And this is how this shit's coming off at this point to me. And that's why I just say, all right, fuck it. This is your problem at this point.
Yeah. Where's the news story about you telling your sister to shut the fuck up? Or you telling your girlfriend, hey, shut up. Stop torpedoing my career. I know this is a concept we've talked about a lot in the last few months on several different podcasts, but in this case, wouldn't you say it's complicitness is just kind of like, all right, cool. You're going to talk shit for me? I'm going to let you talk shit.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why I'm called Iceman, because I did call it, everyone. I called it when he started this shit. And as much as I hate the fact that he can do what he did and how I feel about the flag and all of it aside, I tried to say, this is not going to work. This is not the place. And everybody, and Chris and I argued. You could go listen to the podcast. That he has the right. Okay, he does. And as Rich finally broke in and told him, there's going to be consequences. Ta-da!
Yeah, because what everybody forgets is these NFL teams are all businesses who are allowed to employ whoever the fuck they want as long as they're not breaking the law.
Pretty much. And now they're getting to the point, and I feel, seriously, the NFL teams are getting to the point that they're just like, nah. You know what? I need a quarterback, but I don't need a quarterback that bad.
If there's one more team that gives him an honest shot at making it, I will be shocked. Because if I'm the Seahawks at this point, I got to be thinking, fuck that. If I'm every other team besides any team he's met with, I have to be thinking, do I really want to take the PR hit, no matter how small it is, in the news cycle, to talk to this asshole? Because I know that someone from his entourage, from his family, from his group, whatever the fuck, is going to speak up. is going to speak up and throw a monkey wrench in it to where it's going to force our hand. No, I'm not going to do that. And on top of that, these are businessmen. Look, businessmen don't become that wealthy and successful without being assholes. It's period. There's no loyalty in this business. No one is beholden to him. He doesn't have a marker to call in with any team, or else Kaepernick would have been on a team. So at this point, they have to realize he's using them to further entrench him as some sort of activist.
Ironically enough, I met with the owner of the place that I currently work, and we had a talk, and he said, as an owner, I don't only look at the money, but it would be a terrible move being a business person if I didn't look at the money that was being left on the table. Now, he was referring to the things such as, ways that us as his employees lose him money. And there's many ways in my business that I would lose him money. However, hiring Kaepernick, there are plenty of ways that person would leave money on the table for that owner.
Well, yeah, you're going to piss off your customers. Your customers are your fans. Quite honestly, they're business guys.
Merchandise sales are going down. Your concessions are going down. Your seats aren't getting sold. Yeah.
So, that's why at this point, hey, look, you've pretty much done it to yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot. I'm not going to feel sorry for you no more.
And I full-heartedly believe it's this time, at this point, it's on purpose. Because you've had fellow black men come to you and say, I'm getting you a spot on this roster. And then you fuck it up anyway with this shit. And then he had to come out and go, in so many words, well, we had you, but you fucked up. And now we can't sign you. Thanks. No. And that was Ray Lewis and the Ravens.
Dude, this is why, Chris, a year ago, this story would still be, it could be 2 weeks old, and they would still be getting some traction. And that's why it's now 2 days old, well, maybe like 4 or 5 days old, tops. And it's buried because people have stopped giving a fuck about Colin Kaepernick. And I mean, at this point, if you're not a big fan of his and his activism work, who the fuck is he? He's just some guy
Well,
doing some shit and protesting and everything else. Okay, you're one of millions now.
Right, but to put it in terms for you and Chris, Rich, it would be like you two having a band and then calling a singer, and every time you talk to him, he's like, "Nah, I can't because I'm better than the band. I'm the man, and you know the music's too loud. You drown out my vocals."
I see where you're going. You can make the point better. It would just be like the singer going, "I can't perform these gigs with you because I have a problem with the owners of the venue."
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to go, "Well, we need a new fucking singer who's going to perform at the venues that we book."
Right.
Well, here's another thing. Where are the people around him looking at him going, if you truly want to be an activist and be known as an activist, then an athlete, then what you need to do is make sure you have the most exposure to the widest audience you can have. Gee, I don't know, being the starting quarterback of an NFL team's pretty much, you got the whole nation's attention, or at least all of football nation's attention. He could have signed. He could have said, "Fuck it, this kneeling shit. No one's talking about what I'm kneeling for. Everyone says it's disrespecting the flag and it's disrespecting the troops, and it has nothing to do with either of those two things." And he could have just pivoted. But see, that's because people around him, I have to believe, don't really give a shit about him being an activist. They're just looking to basically step on him, push his head down in the water, and get up a few feet closer to the surface themselves.
Well,
Yep.
and I look at it as if he was to come back and play in the NFL and completely sucked, it would drag down his name even further. Right now, he was a Super Bowl worthy quarterback. He was like 2 years removed from being in the fucking Super Bowl.
To the people that matters. To the people who he really matters to as an activist, they're going to always frame him from here on out as a martyr.
Right,
He gave
but
up
I'm
all
saying
that.
to himself, what sense does it make for him, to himself, to enter back into the NFL as a player when he can use the NFL as a springboard to throw his name out there and keep him
That's pretty
relevant?
much what he's doing.
Let me ask you a question, though. You keep saying to himself. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I don't think this man knows who the fuck he is.
But see, I do.
No,
Rich. Really?
Stop. Let me finish. Look, I'm sorry. Let me finish my fucking thought here before you go off into, yeah, okay, but, and this is why I say this. If you, let's make it you. Let's do the Trump thing. We'll keep your name in it enough to keep you interested. If you were to somehow have national exposure via podcasting, radio gig, television gig, whatever, would you let other people fuck that up for you around you? Or would you be like, look, you ran your mouth once, you do it again, you're gone. This is my fucking career. And you know damn well that the money I make is going to trickle down to you motherfuckers because I got to take care of everybody here. So keep your fucking mouth shut while I'm fucking out making this money because I don't see you doing it. That's exactly what you would do because you know who the fuck you are. And you know you're a fucking man and you can speak for your goddamn self. He fucking doesn't. Now, go.
Here's the thing, Rich. I think he does. I think he does speak for himself. I think he uses people around him so he doesn't have to be drugged down at all by anything. I think he sits there and plays this as a game. This is his new NFL, if you will. He goes to these teams and says, I want to play. Why aren't you hiring me? It's because I'm black. And they're like, you know what, dude? We're going to give you an interview. We're going to give you a tryout. Come over. Well, I'm going to kneel for the flag. But he doesn't say it. His girlfriend does. Or a source does. And they're like, well, then we can't hire you. And then boom. Now his name's back in the news and he's a big thing again. If he went back and played for a team, any team, and sucked, everybody would make him the laughing stock of the NFL forever. He would be more laughable than Ryan Leaf. Because you made all this hustle and bustle. It was because you were black. It was because you were kneeling. The NFL owners are racist. And that's why you couldn't play in this league. No, motherfucker, somebody hired you and you absolutely suck. That's why you weren't playing before. Now shut the fuck up and take a knee.
No, that is false. He left. He opted out of his contract. He did not get cut. He did not let go. He opted out of his contract to test the free agent market.
Exactly.
Okay.
let's go back to the first thing you said that was absolute bullshit, and let's just get this out in the open. When the fuck did he ever say no one was giving him a job simply because he was black? I want the quote. I don't want, I heard, or I want the source who said this shit. I have yet to hear a statement released from him saying that it is simply because he's black, no one will hire him.
Dude, that's what I'm telling you. Colin Kaepernick hasn't said anything. Nothing.
Who around him in his campus said that?
He's going to take a knee to symbolize his protest for racial oppression. That's the only thing he said. But of everyone close to him, his girlfriend, his friends, his confidants, whatever, have all said this shit. Well, we can't play for the Ravens because the owner's racist. Well, we can't play at Seattle because can't guarantee we're not going to start protesting. Everybody else has said these things.
Is nuance completely lost on you? Don't you understand there's a difference between they won't hire him to play on an NFL fucking team because he's black versus they won't hire him because he's fucking an uppity black person who won't shut his mouth and know his role? Do you not see the fucking difference between those two?
I 100% do. I 100% do.
If he walked in and said, if I hear the music, I'm going to dance, tell me what to do, he would be on a team right now.
Absolutely. If somebody said jump and he says how high, he would be hired. I get it. But listen, he doesn't want to be hired. If he got on a team and sucked.
That's not the point. Okay, first of all, that's not the point I'm discussing with you. You said it was because I'm black. That's what he said. Then you said, no, that's because
of his people. But that has been said, though, Rich. Since this whole thing broke. Since he started taking a knee and opted out of the contract at San Fran and started trying to get hired someplace else, and no team wants to touch him. It has been said over and over that he's been blacklisted, that he's not being hired because he's black. And he's blacklisted because he's protesting the flag.
Nuance is lost on you. Okay, you could have just said yes, and we could have foregone the previous 2 minutes. I can't explain it to you if you don't understand it, dude. All I can do is break it down to blocks with ABCs and 1, 2, 3s on them and try to show you that there is a difference between a black man not getting a job in the NFL because the NFL is racist. How many black people have been signed since he last had a job? And because he won't play the fucking game. That is why he's not being signed. Coupled with the fact that, yes, it has a racial overtone to it.
Rich, you and I are saying the exact same thing. I have a different reason, I think, than you do for the way that it's being played out. I don't think Kaepernick wants to be signed anywhere.
Didn't I say that? I called it, everyone, 5 minutes, 10 minutes ago?
Okay.
45 minutes. Write it down.
Mark it down, folks.
First, okay.
Well, I mean, look, either way, it doesn't fucking matter. He ain't getting a job anywhere. So I hope whatever nonprofits he started, keep him busy, keep him happy, because from here on out, I think it's gonna be Johnny Manziel-sized blips on the radar.
See, that's the shit I'm talking about. It is so bad. It has gotten so bad, and people are so done with Colin Kaepernick that they're actually looking at Johnny Manziel at coming back to the league. Stop it. The Patriots even thought about working him out. Stop it.
I say this to you all the time. I think you're connecting dots that aren't there on that one.
What do you mean? How so?
I don't think that. I don't get your point. It's gotten so bad.
My point is that Colin Kaepernick has made such a fucking mockery and just such a fucked up mess out of what he was trying to do and where he's at and where he wants to be that they're just whatever. Look, Johnny wants to come back.
See, it's amazing how you look at it, because you look at it from Kaepernick made this mess from what he was trying to do. And I look at it from, he never changed his fucking story about what he was trying to do. Everybody else made it about everything else.
Rich, let me throw this at you like you did at me. If you wanted to get something out and you didn't want anybody to know that it was you, wouldn't you have me or somebody you trusted throw it out there for everybody to hear?
No.
I said
I'm
my
not
damn
that type
self.
of person. That's what I was getting at. He's that type of
But
person.
he
I'm
is
not.
that type of person. Exactly my point.
Oh, God.
So
Okay.
his girlfriend, his confidant, and all of those people were told by Kaepernick what to say. Now, that is assumption made by me, but that's...
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. I keep forgetting you're a resident tinfoil hatter. You're the tinfoil mad hatter. All right. So you think he's a diabolical genius that is not being used as a puppet by people with an agenda surrounding him. You think
Exactly.
You think he's controlling everybody else.
Absolutely. I think this has all become a big facade to him, and he's enjoying the hell out of it. This is his new league. This is his game. He's going to fuck with the NFL to keep his name relevant for as long as he possibly can. And
But
he's
what
using everybody around him to do it.
Stop. The burden of proof's on you now. You stated your belief. To what end? Because all he's doing is hurting his cause if that's the case.
He's hurting his cause, he's hurting his bank account, he's hurting his credibility.
But he's not hurting his cause. Because as you've pointed out to me numerous times over the past 15 minutes, Colin Kaepernick hasn't said shit. His story has stayed true.
He said, we talked about it on this podcast, he said a few months ago that he was done kneeling. And he said plenty of shit. When he first started, he stated exactly why he was kneeling. Don't you remember the several locker room interviews with him?
No, I do.
Wearing the Che Guevara t-shirt and all that shit.
I forgot. If I want to ask Earl a question about my boots, I got to ask him about my shirt. Because I asked him a question, and he starts telling me about a different fucking thing, like he's giving me a definitive answer here. Dude, you didn't give me shit. But okay, whatever. Okay, great, wonderful. All you're doing is cherry picking and then going, "Yep, that's what it is." And
Rich,
I'm like, okay,
yes,
great, wonderful.
He's puppeteering a great facade. Yes, he is.
Wow, dude. I did not realize you were this deep down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole.
Oh my God! How is that so deep?
What's
How
more
is that
fucking
not
likely?
blatant and obvious?
What's more likely? That he is really this diabolical of a genius to play everyone around him while tanking his career so they have less financial incentive to stay around him, by the way, which affects him as well, or that he's a fucking simple-headed, soft-headed, kind, like soft-touch motherfucker who people with agendas have seen a way to fucking use to boost themselves up. And you're going to tell me it's the first one. I can't argue with that. There's no arguing with that. That's why you make declarative statements like that.
It's not just that. It's the way this shit has played out to me. Now, this is only my opinion, and I could be way the fuck off. It's not that much of a genius plan. It's a little kid fucking turn of the century fucking millennial plan.
But he's the one who told the Seahawks that But he's the one who told the Seahawks that he wasn't sure he wasn't not going to kneel. He didn't have anyone tell the Seahawks that.
He also had his girlfriend tell the fucking owner of the Ravens that he's fucking racist.
That has nothing
as
to do with
they were hiring him.
Earl, stop. Earl, stop. I want you to stop, and I want you to really think about what I'm about to say. He is dealing with people who are on the far left. We're talking extreme left compared to most of mainstream American society. Okay, these people are hardcore feminists. And when I say hardcore feminists, I'm not talking about I want equal pay for equal work. I'm talking about take the man out of Manchester. It's people kind, that type of bullshit. You think his girlfriend's going to let him fucking go, hey, bitch, get on your fire up your fucking phone and get on Twitter and say this for me? You think he's got it like that with these type of fucking people who walk around talking about I'm strong, independent woman, don't need no man? And you think that they wouldn't fucking in a second expose him if he was like that? Because that would just boost their agenda as well. You're telling me he's doing this shit. There's no fucking payoff for him to do it besides you think there is. That's what I'm getting at, dude. You're not putting everything together and taking it all in. I mean, think about it. This is his last gasp here, period. If there's not a statement that comes out from him, and in 5 days there hasn't been like, look, these people are speaking for themselves. That kind of fucking seals it, doesn't it? Why would he tank his entire career for what? There's no payoff at the end of this.
Rich, I can't answer you because I don't know. But I feel full-heartedly that he's doing this. That this is his game.
Rich, what's his upside? What's the upside?
Because he's popular, bro. He's relevant.
He was popular before. Quarterback that went to the Super Bowl. People knew who he was before he was kneeling.
Yeah, but he's going to stay relevant as long as shit like this keeps happening. This problem is the shit's gotten old, and they're like, okay, we're done.
Really?
Wow.
No, we've just spent a half hour on it. We sure about that?
That's because you guys think I'm nuts. Has nothing to do with Kaepernick.
No, that's true, because, 14-2, the Patriots lose games on purpose and risk, franchise players and losing them for the season just to prove a point. Yeah. I've got a list. I keep it somewhere, but it's not here immediately. Yeah, we think you're nuts, dude. You're absolutely right.
Right.
I mean, you're amusing nuts. You're not like pissing in the corner and eating your own shit nuts, but, you're fun to have around. That's why we keep you on the show.
So, yeah, that's why we spent this time on Kaepernick. Because I don't see it as cut and dry. I never will. I'm glad you guys do. I don't.
I'm glad that you are so open-minded that you just go, I never will. No, so it doesn't matter what proof I give you, huh?
No, it does. Absolutely does. If you can come to me and prove to me that Colin Kaepernick's sitting in the corner with the hat sitting on his head, and everybody around him's just treating him like a puppet and just wrecking him.
Burden of proof's on you again, Iceman. You're the one making the crazy accusation.
My proof is in the news, bro. Go look it up.
What proof? What proof? That his girlfriend made a half-cocked statement on Twitter about the Baltimore Ravens. That's about it for your proof.
Anytime Colin Kaepernick gets close to being hired on a team, working out for a team.
He's the one who told the Seahawks he was.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You guys doing you said it exactly same time.
How is it him? I thought you said a source said it.
Yes. The article I read from Slate claimed a source said it.
Okay, so it wasn't Colin. So every single time this guy gets close to being hired by an NFL team, somebody somewhere comes out and says, "Protest, bitches, racist bitches," and
Rich,
Colin
we're not
Kaepernick
going to
doesn't
get
get
anywhere
hired.
with this.
There's your proof.
Yep, sure.
Oh shit! This is great. This is almost as good as the group chat this week.
Whatever. Prove me wrong. You can't.
Prove us right. You're the one making the wild accusation.
And I've backed it up, bro. Every single time this guy gets close to getting hired by an NFL team, somebody says something that gets him knocked out.
Every single time. All right,
Every single fucking time.
On proof. Because you said something you're never supposed to say. You said every. So let's go. I want proof.
Go ahead. Look it up. Look up with the Giants.
What?
The
You're
Ravens,
the burden of proof is on you
fucking
there,
Seahawks.
I'm not the one making the crazy wild statement.
It's not a crazy wild statement every time, dude. The Giants and the Ravens, they were called racist, and then as soon as they invited him to work out, and the Ravens actually almost hired him before that. And now over in Seattle, that's just 3 off the top of my head without looking up every other time, where anytime he got close, somebody said something that got him not hired. And you're telling me that this grown man, Super Bowl appearing quarterback is sitting in the corner going, I don't know. You're saying stuff. I don't know. Bullshit.
Yep. That's because it's exactly,
Times is reporting the Seahawks asked Colin Kaepernick what his social activism plans were. He said he didn't know. That's from the Seattle Times.
But anyways, you were absolutely right. That's exactly what we said. We said he was Charlie from Flowers for Algernon in the corner, drooling on himself, not knowing what was going on. That is word for word what we said.
You said he's a puppet being played by everybody around him.
Mm-hmm. So he's a drooling, need a tippy cup idiot. Yep. That's exactly what I meant too. Glad you figured that out. I was having a hard time verbalizing it.
All right.
All right.
Can we
So
move
move
on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's move on to someone that we can all make fun of. Everybody point and laugh at Giancarlo Stanton. What the fuck is going on with this guy to have the start he has, which is shit. And on top of it, what the fuck is going on with New York? Well, wait a minute. New York baseball fans are just being New York baseball fans. What did you say, Chris? You already heard people say get rid of him?
Yeah, they're already talking about, that he's a waste of money. Really, 2 weeks into the fucking season? Just like the Cavaliers are done, right? Cavaliers that are in the playoffs, they were done, right, Iceman? They were all done.
Can we poke that? Like, get to the no premature poking. All right, damn it. We'll get to that subject. It's on the agenda.
The same mentality. Well, 2 weeks of shit, bust. It's over. Really?
Well, look. I think it's interesting because the only team I can ever remember for as long as the Yankees have been dissected in New York, that has been dissected locally for us like this. I mean, that's good, by the way, because everybody dissects the Lions, whether they suck or not. That's just because they're starved for football. But it's the Red Wings during that 25-year stretch. And I remember we'd sign big free agents, and the barometer was, how do they do in the playoffs? We'll give them if they have a less than average regular season, but step it up in the playoffs, we'll give them that pass. I mean, New York just seems like it's just full of fucking gangsters that are like, man, fuck this motherfucker. Kill him and his entire family. I mean, at 2 weeks, really? In baseball? That's a big enough sample size?
I know, right?
Well, no, I don't, and I totally disagree with them, like you do, Chris. Like when I called, LeVar Ball, or LeVar, when I called Lonzo Ball a bust, you needed proof, Chris, and it was 2 weeks in the NBA season. Okay, after the NBA season, he's a bust. Anyways,
wait, we asked you about Stanton. You're talking about basketball, and you wonder why I said if I want to know what you think about my shoes, I have to ask you about my shirt. You wonder why I said that.
God damn it, I had to poke back. Anyways, with Stanton, it's not the same
Turn
thing.
this podcast around.
Just because he starts out slow doesn't mean he's going to be a bust and needs to be traded. He has proof of longevity. His body of work, if you will, speaks for itself. So he's in a slump. He's a slow starter. What have you? No, I think you need to wait this one out, New York.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's just for purely shits and giggles, go with the basketball comparison. 2 weeks in baseball is like 3 games in basketball for a sample size. Now, if these were his first 3 games or his first 2 weeks in baseball, he might be riding the bench by now. But he's not. He's got a track record. He's got history. They put up with A-Rod and them big-ass white hamburger helper gloves of his in New York. They'll come around and deal with it. It's just, to me, it speaks to how spoiled Yankee fans are.
I think it speaks to the expectation of Stanton, and I mean, kind of rightly so.
Excuse me, just had.
Yeah, kind of rightly so. He had huge expectations, and you go into the biggest baseball market there is. Yeah, this kind of talk's going to come.
The talk, no. Do not conflate two separate topics here. Do not confuse the two. Okay? This is about fans booing him. Now, if we're talking about expectations and him wilting under the spotlight in New York, that's another story. Because there are anonymous reports. Hold on a sec. Don Mattingly mentioned about the pressure of playing in pinstripes, There's been other comments. He's struggling with the fastball. Blah, blah. I mean, those are more he needs to make adjustments type stuff. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, there is a lot of shit at play here. And the fans booing him, I'm talking about just the fans. I'm not talking about his start. The reason for his start is nerves, dealing with pitchers he's not used to seeing, doesn't know their tendencies. I mean, that might play a factor in it. Motherfucker did come from, like, the hottest fucking... Yeah, the hot... Well, no. It gets hotter in Arizona, I believe, sometimes. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then he comes up here. Didn't they have to postpone the Yankees Tigers games? Can you imagine if you never played in that type of weather? There's literally ice falling from the sky. Why are we out here playing baseball? This isn't snow. This isn't rain. This is ice. This is God saying, "Go to fucking doors."
This is whether my dog looked outside and was like, "Nope," turned around and pissed on the rug. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think it's just spoiled Yankee fans personally. I mean, I don't know what you expect from 2 weeks for a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron Judge, he dropped off after the All-Star break. You know, I didn't see them tearing down his little fan section in the stands. Yeah, I didn't see any of that shit happening. You know, and that's the fucked up part in all this is that if he was on the Tigers and this was his start, you know what I'd be looking at? What's he done all the rest of the seasons he's played? Let's not start worrying about whether he's a bust until we're talking at least 40 games into the season. Give me a quarter of the season to start basing some predictions on. But I'm not a New York baseball fan. So according to every Yankee fan I've ever met, we're not real baseball fans because we're not Yankee fans.
Right, but I mean, they expect so much out of big names. When Roger Clemens went there, David Wells went there. When you bring in big people like that, you get big expectations. And like I mentioned and Chris agreed, after the season he had last season, you're thinking you're in for a hell of a ride. And he's hitting right with Judge. They're 1-2. It's a 1-2 punch. So you can't walk one because you got the other. But he just isn't answering the bell. And I don't know, it could be weather, cold, could be, nerves, could be he's just not ready. Maybe he needs to make adjustments. But way, way, way too early to start booing and talking about trading.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, because if you're looking at other players who've, started off slow, Yu Darvish has started off slow. I don't hear, there's no rumblings that Chicago fans are like, we need to get rid of him.
You're to my fantasy team. Tell you that. Got another couple of weeks.
Hopefully you got Ohtani. Jesus.
Yeah, but
I can let him go.
But once again, fantasy is what did you do last week? You can't hold on to a fucking fringe player with, well, I hope he fucking gets better. This is real life I'm talking about. How many times did Verlander start off slow? And people be like, oh, Verlander's lost it. Really? And he can't hear you because he's got fucking Kate Upton's legs and thighs wrapped around his head while he's down there eating at the Y, okay?
He's staring at his World Series ring.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's going in after his ring.
Exactly. I thought I dropped that somewhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's come on now. That has to be taken into consideration, too, here. Fantasy's fantasy. It is real life shit here. But, I mean, there's other people. I mean, we're talking Andrew McCutchen. He hasn't set it on fire out there with the Giants. I mean, that was every season. You knew who he was even though he played on the fucking Pirates. Steady, in and out, But it's just because I think New York fans are spoiled. And their attention span is about the same as the average fucking fruit fly.
Yeah, they want to win. They want to win now.
They want to win always, which is admirable, but it's not realistic. And don't get me wrong, this has happened. There's been players that have went to New York in any sport and been run out of that town by the fans and the press. Just, you got to go. Sorry. We're not having it. I mean, to me, it's a little early for fucking New York fans to even be thinking along those lines of run this bum out of town.
Yeah, check me at the All-Star break.
I mean, I do say there is, some mechanical shit going on with them. I've watched a few videos that, show the exact difference. That could be just trying to bear down, You get into a slump and you try to dig yourself out. And then you start fucking up more and more and more. It's the domino effect. For lack of a better term, what do they call it? The yips? I mean, it's not exactly that, but...
Yeah, it's getting in your own head. Psyching yourself out.
Exactly. So, I don't know. Just a little interesting side note that I thought was... because, honestly, baseball's biggest problem the first couple of weeks has been, can they play some fucking games because of this weather? I mean... Christian made a good point in the pre-show meeting, in the pre-show talk. Maybe we need to move the start of the season back.
Yeah.
I mean, I've even heard people say down to 54 games.
And hey, how about we sell
154? Excuse me.
Fucking ad time in the playoffs and make playoffs the length they were again. Call me crazy. Maybe less downtime in between the games. Maybe the fucking first two series shouldn't take a goddamn month.
Well, I mean, one solution that I did hear that I thought was amusing, it'll never happen, but I thought was amusing, was that if your team is in an area that in the spring and in the fall experience weather that would stop games, that the league mandates you have to play in a dome. And I'm like, yeah, no, that ain't going to happen. Sorry. Even those retractable domes. How many times has this shit broke in Toronto? Didn't they break one right after they put it in?
Yes.
Do you remember that? We made a big deal about, look at our retractable roof. Oh, shit.
It's not retractable.
You had one job, roof. You know, it's like...
All right, so let's put a roof on Joe Robbie then. Hurricane Central.
But yeah, I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I know that no owner's going to want to cut games because that's revenue, and ultimately ad space is going nowhere in the playoffs. If anything, it's going to get worse. I mean, shit. When they come back from commercial, the first 30 seconds, you're likely to any stat they. First of all, not likely. You will see any stat they present's going to have a sponsor.
You know what I thought was really funny? I was watching Minnesota, and it's snowing in there in Chicago and whatnot. And I was like, I want to see one baseball player that looks at shit like that and goes, climate change is false. It is just a myth. We're in the middle of fucking April, yo.
Yeah, so wear my fucking winter coat.
Oh, no, guys. The last 12 years of this winter season have just flew by. It's wonderful.
I'm marking to somebody on Monday, like May in like 2 fucking weeks.
Yep.
No, it's great losing your power for almost 2 days to an ice storm in April. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so I mean, with the climate change, so must everything, including baseball and other sports.
Well, if they want to shorten the season but not give up any games, what they need to start doing is scheduling day-night doubleheaders again. I'm talking scheduled ones, not make-up games.
Well, hasn't, spring training and opening day been the same for many, many years?
This year was the earliest opening day they've ever had, March 29th.
Okay. They need to go forward in the year. I don't care about the length of the season per se, but if you want to start playing games without snow, then you're going to have to take note of the change in the climate.
Well, just go back to starting in April again. Start the first week of fucking April like you're supposed to. Granted, this year is an aberration because, again, we're just skipping over spring, going right into summer. We're going from winter to summer, apparently. But, yeah, start in the first week of April like you're fucking supposed to.
And like I said...
Yeah, it leads to a cold opening day, once a decade. But, it wouldn't... What opening day? How many opening days were postponed this year? I know Detroit and the Nationals were.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chicago's was.
I mean, that sucks because, especially a town like Detroit, opening day is like a goddamn holiday.
It really is.
Like, motherfuckers go downtown and hang out by the outfield fence and watch the game from the outside and make a day of it. When I say make a day of it, I'm talking 7 o'clock when the bars open. They're lined up. It's damn near. What were you going to say?
I work downtown. They make us work from home on opening day because it's such a clusterfuck down there.
Don't even bother coming in.
Yeah, they're like,
you ain't gonna make it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's almost like a second St. Patrick's Day as far as I'm talking about, like bars and shit.
Yeah, I mean, they lucked out and it got pushed to a Friday. But I mean, just think how much more people probably would have went down there if 1 week later. 1 week later.
Exactly.
April fucking 5th or whatever, like it usually is supposed to be.
Well, yeah,
this time of year, quite honestly, in the climate, especially in the climate like Michigan, fucking that 1 week can make a hell of a lot of difference weather-wise.
Well, and knowing Michigan, they probably haven't cleared the roads very well, so it's still very icy, so people can't get down there anyway.
It depends on where you're at. But, I mean, the point is that this is, that's us. I'm sure there's other cities. I know there's other cities that have opening days that's that big of a deal. But, I mean, I don't remember hearing about it when I lived in other states. New York I did. Oh, God. Yankee and Mets opening day. Yankee opening day, everybody talking about. Mets opening day, the other half of baseball fans are talking about.
I was just saying, thinking Boston opening day is just, oh, hey, it's another Tuesday. I think Fenway probably gets down with opening day pretty good.
Oh, Wrigley.
Yeah.
I'd even go so far as to say fucking the White Sox even, just because it's Chicago, man. But I mean, when I lived in Florida, it was even after the Marlins won the World Series, the next year was not, opening day was not like it was. And when I was there, Tampa sucked. So the opening day was like, and then you have the Marlins opening day, and then Tampa opened. It's like, oh, okay, that's how it's going to be. But the only thing I can think to do is to schedule doubleheaders, and that's not shortening the number of games played; it's shortening the length of the season. That's what I'm getting at. That way, you can go into the playoffs because you don't want a situation like you had. Oh, it seems like at least once a playoff where games have to be postponed. And remember that 2004 Yankees-Red Sox series? Wasn't it postponed like 3 times and it went 7 games? I mean, do the math. You're stretching a 7-game series into something that should take a week and a half to, over 2 weeks almost. I mean, that's...
Well, shit, last year, didn't the World Series end like fucking 2 weeks before Thanksgiving?
It was in November, yeah. And it sucks
that's
because...
That's ridiculous.
I mean, I understand they want as many teams in the playoffs as they can. They want the excitement of Game 163. To me, the novelty of Game 163's wore off. I mean, I guess if your team's in it, it's exciting. But this has now been something they've been doing for almost 10 seasons because of Game 163 in 2009 with the Twins and the Tigers.
God damn, it has been that long. Jesus Christ.
I mean, yeah, I get it. It's like, ooh, a little extra baseball. It's that March Madness, survive in advance, and the strategy involved. What pitcher do you throw out there? Do you throw your ace? Because then if you win, you can't start your ace again. So blah, 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 blah. I get all that. But not at the expense of losing quality of baseball when the 2 best teams meet. You know what I'm saying? I don't want bubble teams pushing that back. But I don't know. That's just me. That's the way I look at it. Baseball didn't seem to care. So far as far as I've seen and heard, their ratings so far have been what they expected. So, all right. Well, anything else in the sports world before we go into the playoffs?
Oh, Harbaugh.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Michigan police, via CBS Sports, Michigan police respond to perceived threats from ex-player to Jim Harbaugh. A former Michigan player tagged Jim Harbaugh on Twitter as part of a series of apparent threats. James Yoder reported on Tuesday that campus police met with football and athletic department staff members to gather information on. Someone want to try this name here? Please tell me I'm not the only one with the article pulled up in front of me.
Let me... fuck is his name? Let me skim through.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I remember reading it going, I believe he needs to buy a consonant.
Elise Mbembas. That's...
Mbasa?
Yeah, I don't know how that E's pronounced. So...
Yeah. No, yeah.
Mbasa.
Wow. A lot of consonants next to each other. Needs to buy a vowel. Yeah, Mbasa. MBEM-BOSSE.
So anyways, yes, James Yoder said, just got word, U of M campus police and Ann Arbor police officers and detectives responded to the Mbase Twitter threats. They met with football staff and the athletic department to gather information, including the last known address of Mbase or whatever his name is. Stay tuned. And this is what he posted. Okay. His Twitter handle, need nobody but God. Well, way to start off strong, buddy.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Well, the first tweet I see is that Michigan is open carry. Let's not forget. Yeah. Not your friend.
Well, they sent someone to my crib before. I was nice enough to call the cops. Next time I'm calling the morgue, I'm talking with facts. So the backstory, according to the article, is vague. Was apparently suspended from the team for unknown reasons, though he says it was in the wake of a family crisis. At best, these were regrettable tweets with no real intent behind them. An example of all that can be wrong with social media. At worst, they were legitimate threats. And with the country on high alert in the wake of mass shootings, they should be taken seriously, and they are. And then they go on to say he's a former 3-star recruit who signed with Michigan in 2016, contributed as a backup on special teams during his first 2 seasons. He is not listed on the Wolverines' most recent spring roster.
And Michigan did release a statement that said he is no longer with the team.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that either he's dumb as a box of rocks and didn't realize that was going to be the outcome of what he put, or he was trying to make a way, way dark joke that went over the heads of a lot of people, and he probably needs to explain himself.
He has since switched his Twitter account to private, and the tweets have been deleted.
Shocking, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I just have to say, it's amazing how many people go around screenshotting random tweets. Like, I'm talking, I've seen screenshots of tweets that were up for less than 10 minutes. And it's like, who the fuck is sitting there just waiting to screenshot these things?
People with nothing to do. People with nothing better to do.
People that get paid to do it because investigative reporting is bad.
Is this those Russian hackers I keep hearing about? Is that those people screenshotting this shit and posting fake news with it? But anyways, well, I don't know if you guys have heard, but here, I'm talking about you guys, but here in Michigan, we had quite a few threats made towards schools after the shooting in Florida, like within the first 3-4 weeks or whatever.
I was right. Did Julian Edelman stop a shooting in like Port Huron or something like that?
I don't know about that story. The one I know about the most is the one that was the high school down the street from my work, because they got a threat and there was nothing to police near that high school that day. And I was like, okay.
Now with Edelman, somebody actually made a threat, and someone in the comment on something on his Instagram talked about they were going to shoot up their school the following week, and just somebody slid into Edelman's DM and was like, "Hey man, there's this guy in your comments actually talking about shooting up his school." He called the cops, and sure enough, cops fucking busted him. Caught him with a bunch of guns and shit. He was planning to shoot up his high school. That was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Now that you bring that, like, I was picturing him like, "No, shooter, put down your gun." I'm like, no, that motherfucker didn't hop in front of no school shooter. And then I remembered the story when he told me, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. But still, the majority of them were, I'm thinking, people either with a very sick sense of humor or kids that were like, I don't want to go to school today.
I was going to say, yeah.
I don't want to fail that test.
Give me your burner, because I'm calling in a bomb threat, It's like...
I remember going to high school there, and anytime something like this happened, people would call in a bomb threat. They were like, wait, so if there's a threat of a bomb, we don't have to go? Give me the phone. We didn't really have cell phones back then. We had to walk our ass to the phone, and we would, just to get out of school the next day.
What kind of pussy high school did you go to? We had a couple bomb threats. It was like a fire drill. They filed us all out of school. Show up, sweep the school. All right, nothing. Go back in.
See, pussy, no. We were smart as shit. We did it the night before. We called that shit in and said we were coming in at noon on the following day. And then if that one didn't go off, we were planning one at 3.
Motherfucker, you know how many felonies you're admitting to right now?
I didn't do it. And you ain't going to find my voice on no recording.
You keep saying we. First of all...
Yes, my high school.
Yeah. Who is this? Frank Collar.
We don't include Chris and I, okay? So, second of all...
No, you guys were there.
Second of all, it's a different fucking day, dude. We all know that. They got to take this shit like it's fucking the word of God. They can't leave any fucking room for, any fuckery or there was a miscommunication. Not right now. Definitely not right now.
You know what? It's times like these that I miss the immortal words of Bernie Mac when he did the original Kings of Comedy. He's like, black people talk, man. That's all we do. That's our defense mechanism. We talk at you. Like, yeah, we talk. I'll blow this motherfucker up, And how are we going to blow this motherfucker up? Where are we going to get the dynamite from? Ain't nobody going to sell us any dynamite. If we got dynamite, it has to be at our door the next day. Shit, you know. And so, yeah, the kids are, they're not stupid, but at the same time, yeah, they are. And they all wonder why I'm not teaching anymore.
No, I never wondered why. I knew.
What the hell are we talking about?
My shoes, and he really likes my shirt.
I love his shirt, though. Matches his shoes.
Anyways, I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah.
What do you expect with
threats?
What do you expect with a player who's grown up with a fucking cell phone attached to his hand, probably since he was old enough to hold one? I mean, I've just had to come to accept it, man. Especially college kids right now, and the younger they are, the worse it's going to get. Like, this incoming freshman class is going to be the worst one yet about social media, because the younger they get, the less of a world they remember without it, if they even remember one without it. So, I mean, that's just, if they were born in what, 2003 or not 2003, 2000,
yeah, they'd be 18.
They would be 5 years old when MySpace hit. So by the time they started getting to the age of social media, they grew up with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that unfortunately the problem is because I don't know, maybe this is going to be an unexpected take on this. It's not a hot take. It's a lukewarm take. All right. But I don't know if these kids realize that this shit is being taken this serious, because I think it's just like, to them, how we used to talk at each other and be like, motherfucker, I'll kill you. The problem is that people are reading it with no context. They don't know the person tweeting it, but they got to go run and tattletale on somebody for tweeting it. And with the climate, with school shootings and violence and everything, everybody thinking that we live in the most violent time in the history of the world, even though it's the exact opposite, you get this type of fallout.
Well, and these very fragile beings that they are, they have to, you know, just exacerbate the whole story. It went from, man, I'll kill you, shit, to he's said he was going to shoot me, then stab me, rape me, kill my dog, and stuff it up my dad's ass. It's like, wait, what?
Well, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I just see screenshots anymore. There's no room for fucking bullshit unless someone whips out Photoshop, which I've been fooled by a time or 12.
I mean, the other part of this too is, besides the whole tattletale, aspect to the whole thing, the other part is the motherfuckers who don't realize they're putting Exhibit A on social media half the time.
Exactly.
Like, when you get prosecuted, you have hand-delivered evidence to the person that will prosecute you.
It's just, it's something that we've officially entered old age, guys. It's just something we're going to have to understand, that these kids don't understand a world without this because they've never existed in one. It's like trying to explain to us what it was like to live in not to show us a 2-hour movie of the Middle Ages, but to explain to us what it was like because someone was there to live in the Middle Ages. And we're going, I understand intellectually, but if I stub my toe and it gets infected, you just pour whiskey down my throat and saw it off while I'm awake? Yep. I think I'll just die, thank you very much. I'm good. That's seriously though. That's how, when it comes to this shit, these kids look at it like, what? You couldn't text? Why didn't you just go on your phone and get the answer? Why would you argue with your friends? Because we didn't have phones that could fucking give us answers.
Well, then at least go to the computer. What computer?
Yeah, I'm gonna go play a rousing game of where in the world is Carmen Sandiego and get an answer to a question about who was on Saturday Night Live in 1975. No.
I'm gonna go turn on my Commodore 64 and load (8, 1).
So yeah, maybe I'm getting soft in my advancing age, but of course the threat should be investigated. But if it turns out it was just fucking shit talk, then they need to treat it like such.
It's too late for that. He's already gone.
I know, dude, but I have such a hard time with this mentality that we have to ruin a person's career over something that's done when they're a fucking, teenager, 18, 19, 20. It's not like this isn't murder, this isn't rape, this isn't anything crazy like that. This is a dude talking shit online. Something we used to do all the time anonymously and get away with, by the way. Now these dumbasses put their names on it. At least make a fake account and put the shit out there.
Well, because that's the thing, because now we're getting into the area which we've talked about on Red. Oh, we've talked about on this podcast, too. But, hey, man, freedom of speech does not absolve you from responsibility, especially like what you just talked about. If you're putting your name is on this shit, how could you not expect blowback?
I remember...
You know, if your Twitter handle is fuck Jim Harbaugh and you have a fake name, great, you're anonymous. But you're in the public eye, your Twitter account has your real name on it. Like,
your motherfucking profile pictures of you playing in a U of M uniform. It's like, in case you didn't know, by the way, I'm kind of a big deal. Right?
People know me.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's I guess it's just an interesting aside on the commentary of what goes on with social media these days. But like I said, I guess I'm getting soft. If they investigate, the kid doesn't even have a handgun on him. You know, he literally was like, I just said the shit because be funny or whatever. I didn't think about it. Dumb, stupid kid shit. Okay, he doesn't play for Michigan again, but I don't think he should be fucking blacklisted from ever playing college football again if he's good enough. I mean, maybe I'm on my own here, so I don't know.
No, I completely agree with you. It's like Richie Incognito. Remember that in the Dolphins?
Did you ever hear the actual text or read the actual text?
I did once, but it was a while ago.
Dude, it wasn't even shit talking on a level that we do on this show. And he thought he was talking to homeboy who went and tattled on him. He thought he was talking to his buddy. I mean, it was full of stuff like, let's go do this. No, I don't feel like it. Don't be a bitch. That's bullying?
Well,
That's bullying.
He did use the N-word at some point.
Okay, what the fuck's that got to do with bullying? That's what I'm getting. Like, that was the whole thing. It was, this is bullying.
Well, he was bullying him, and it was of a racial tone, is what it started boiling out to. But he actually survived that and went and played on with the Bills. And just retired recently. So I agree with you. You know, if it is just shit talking, you shouldn't end somebody's career. Richie, got lucky and didn't have his career ended. He just didn't play.
Let's not lose sight of the law. If you say some shit to somebody and they feel threatened, that's assault. You don't have to hit someone to be charged with assault.
Yeah, but let's also take into consideration
that's where and battery comes in.
Let's take into consideration here that someone like Richie Incognito did was sending private messages via text to someone he thought was a friend. He didn't go on social media and post this on his fucking Twitter page or his Facebook wall or anything like that. This kid posted this shit on his Twitter account. That's the major difference. If what's his face hadn't have felt bullied and came out and felt the need to hand his phone over to the first person that offered him a decent amount of money for the story, we would never known what was in those texts. This wasn't a criminal case. It wasn't like it was the Kwame Kilpatrick case and they were combing his text looking for evidence and it became part of the fucking public record. Do you see the difference I'm getting at here, Earl? You understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So one is, even if you don't like Richie Incognito, he wasn't out there saying, I'm going to butt fuck my teammate because he's a pussy who won't come to the strip club with me tonight. That wasn't his latest tweet. Then I don't know if he'd have came back from it. And to me, it's like, really, it's a private communication. None of our business. Is it really any that big of a deal if the kid made a bad joke? Now, if they walk in his apartment, in his wherever, and the motherfucker's loaded for bear, then you know what, homeboy? You just fucked yourself. Hope you like prison food and penis. I mean, that's about how that goes.
Well, he is a 3-star recruit, so he ain't going out like no bitch.
All right, so here we're at the point, guys. NBA playoffs. Take it away.
LeBron James sucks. He's through. He's done.
Really? I don't have the energy for this.
No, I just wanted to get it out there. You go ahead and talk about it. I don't care.
Well, what's the biggest
all you have to
surprise
say about the NBA playoffs? If you can't
the biggest surprise so far,
you want to talk about it?
The biggest surprise so far is that the Cavs are 0-1. It's the first time in LeBron James' career that he's 0-1 in the start of a playoff.
You are on crack. That is the biggest surprise to you. The biggest surprise is the Celtics are up 2-0, and they are a fucking mash unit.
How is that the biggest surprise? They're playing the fucking Bucks.
Yeah, but they're still putting up. They're still putting up. They're still averaging the same amount of offense. They're supposed to be done.
The Boston Celtics are missing 2 of their key players.
Yeah,
the biggest 2 key players they got. I'll give it to you. But they're still deep, dude.
They're still what?
They're still deep. You can't name 2 players on the Bucks.
What's that?
You can't name 2 Buck players.
Okay, and?
Okay, I can name 2 players that play on the Celtics.
Yeah, they're both probably hurt right now?
They are both probably hurt right now.
That's my point.
But my point is that Celtics are still deep, dude. Seriously, they got many people that can play. They got Brown, Rozier, Tatum. Just off the top of my head.
Yeah. Guys who aren't marquee players. Tatum's a fucking rookie. Tatum was picked in the draft last year.
Right. But they can play. That's how they're up. That is not a surprise to me, not even a little bit. The Bucks have whatever the fuck, Giannis, and we tried it once, and I ain't trying to get the Greek Freak. And then...
Well, you just shat on your own point, by the way. You said you couldn't name 2 Bucks players.
Oh, Chris coming through loud and clear.
Right. You can't. I said Giannis, the Greek Freak. And then...
Okay. What's your point? My point is Boston's marquee players are hurt. They're up 2-0. They're still spanking teams. That's a surprise, man.
They're spanking one team. They're spanking the fucking Bucks, bro. And like I just said, they have 1 player. And wait till they get out of the first round. This is no surprise to anybody. It's the Bucks. They're not making it past the second round. Celtics, no. But yes, they're going to get out of this first round.
I'm picking them to go to the finals to lose at Golden State, personally.
The Celtics?
Yep.
Put the bong down.
Why? Well, they were the best team all year. Toronto showed life after the All-Star break. Boston was the best team in the league all year.
Their biggest stars are hurt. They're not going far.
Well, okay, hold on. What team in the East is stopping them then?
Yeah, because Cleveland sucks according to you.
Yeah, Cleveland's so fucking horrible. Cleveland can't stop them.
I could not tell you how happy it's made me that they're 0-1. I can't. I don't care if they win the series, just the 0-1 start. I'm like,
yeah, great, wonderful. Answer the question. Who's stopping the Celtics coming out of the East?
The Sixers.
The Sixers, who are 1-1 with Miami right now.
That's them.
The process got handled by Miami.
The process got hit. The process isn't even playing.
There's the player of the process. There's the overall process that they talked about where he got his nickname.
Right.
That's what I'm referring to.
Yes, the process got handled by a rejuvenated, where the fuck has he been, Dwayne Wade. D. Wade came out and just shot outside his mind.
Okay. Philly gets past Miami. You really think they're beating the Celtics?
Absolutely.
Based on what?
I have them picked in our chat. Based on what? The fact that Celtics are injured. Like you have said, they are a mass unit.
Yeah, they're up 2-0.
Right, against the Bucks. Calm down, son. It's the Bucks. Wait till they play the 76ers. They ain't going up 2-0. They ain't. It's not going to happen.
You say so, man.
They are absolutely getting out of this first round. They will not survive the second round. The 76ers have them.
Based on what? You keep saying it, and I keep asking you based on what, and you just keep saying they're going to win.
The 76... No, dude, I've answered your question 3 times. The 76ers are loaded. The Celtics are injured.
Who?
Do what?
With who?
Well, Embiid's coming back the second round.
Okay, he's not playing this round?
No, but they got Simmons from LSU.
Okay.
One guy. What's that fucking white guy? The 3-point... Sarek. Whatever the fuck.
They got Spockstad. Great. Okay, so since Philly's so fucking pimp.
And have J.J. Redick.
So since Philly's so pimp, they're going to take out the best team in the East, so they're going to go all the way, right?
Or what? What?
Since Philly is so beast, and they're going to take out Boston, then I guess they're going all the way to the championship game, aren't they?
No, I have the Sixers being stopped by the Raptors, who, if they can make it back, are going to beat the Cavs.
Well, I mean, okay, Toronto's up 2-0 on Washington. Apparently, Cleveland sucks so bad. Apparently, Cleveland sucks so bad. The ghost of fucking Reggie Miller's kicking his ass in this series. So, I mean, did they even get out of the first round then, Cleveland?
I have Cleveland over Indiana. That's why this is the biggest shock. Everybody has Cleveland over Indiana. There was no, and it's not just that they got beat. They got blown the fuck out. It was almost 20-point loss. All right, the Jazz and the Pelicans was a barely beat. It was like, what the fuckins? That was a 2-point loss at like the last second.
So that would go along with supporting your theory that Cleveland's a bunch of fucking bums.
I just, it's not even if they're bums or not. They changed their entire fucking team. I don't think they had enough time to get the camaraderie, the gel that they are going to need in the NBA playoffs.
Oh, so you're telling me
they only finished first in the Central? Yeah. Guess they need more time to gel.
They finished fourth in the conference, Holmes. Come on, man.
They finished first in their division. That's all that fucking matters.
Oh, my God. How is that all that matters, dude?
Well, I'm just interested. So, you don't think Tristan Thompson's love child with a Kardashian is enough to propel Cleveland past or into the championships and past Golden State? Really?
Absolutely.
And again, you are talking about a team that's been to the NBA Finals. They were there last year. They won it 2 years ago. They finished with a 610 winning percentage. How are they fucking done?
They don't have anybody, Holmes. Who do they got? LeBron James, the greatest player ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. That's why he's fourth in the conference and down 0-1 against fucking Indy. Yeah.
Okay, we've established that LeBron James is on the team and you don't like him. There's no need to fucking keep going over his stats. Jesus.
They're not good enough, Chris. Other teams have made other moves that are going to... It's not going to happen, my friend. He's going to get out. I firmly believe he's going to right the ship and get past the Pacers, because I will almost have a coronary from laughing too hard if he goes out in this first round.
They only averaged 110 points in regular season, 5th overall in the league. Yeah, they suck.
All right, so we've established that.
Hey, Stash Man, he's 0-1. He pretty much sucks.
This is a hiccup. This is a hiccup in the series. Yes, Cleveland sucks. LeBron sucks. But ultimately, they're going to beat Indiana, even though they suck because they lost to Indiana. We got you. We're following your logic. You're making it hard because you're coloring outside of the lines here, but we're following it. Okay. So you got Toronto coming out of the East. But you got coming out the West. Give it to us, Iceman. Send us to the sports book.
I like football way better than I like basketball, just saying.
Okay, all right,
Warriors.
But
I'll give an answer.
Everybody has the Warriors. There ain't nobody that could stop that team.
What's that?
There's nobody that could stop the Warriors.
What about your boy Harden?
What about he ain't my boy? Did you see what happened to him last year? He was 1 for 11 in the elimination game. 1 for 11. Yeah, he's great in the regular season and he could do a whole lot, but when he gets in the postseason, I don't know what the fuck happens to him. I don't know where he goes.
Literally basing his whole playoff performance last year on one game. His whole performance last year on one game. He went cold in one game, and he sucks. You ever notice nobody ever shoots 100% from the field?
I do, but I wake up jacked. Anyways.
With a train going up your ass and a fucking pocket rat barking. Yeah, that's how you wake up every day. All right, well, I don't know. I'm just interested in hearing you two argue about this because I'm gonna make it easy. Boston, Golden State over Boston. That's my pick.
Pretty much.
So and I have about as emotion behind that pick as about what I flushed down the toilet. So yeah, I'm like, oh, yay! It's basketball playoff time. Good for them.
What's with
I was going to say, is there any stories coming out of the play? Because I mean, any stories that have come up? I mean, I know didn't Greg Popovich blow his top at his team? Because I thought I heard something about that, and I'm like, okay, isn't that what a head coach is supposed to do when you're down 0-2 in the series?
That's what you're supposed to do. Yes.
Motivate him somehow.
Good luck with that.
Well, I mean, the fact that the Spurs are even in it still, Jesus God, their heydays. Who's stuck around from their heyday?
I think Ginobili is still
Parker and
playing.
Ginobili. Yeah, Parker and Ginobili.
Yeah, they got to be 50, but yeah, they're playing.
They are playing.
That's what I'm getting at. Starting to wonder if Tony Parker doesn't want to go home to Evo Longoria, man. No, I can play, coach. But Tony, you have a bag on your hip. Well, as long as you check me hard, I'm fine. If they do burst that bag, they'll only do it one time. I'll tell you that. All right, so there we go.
They gotta be at least pushing 40, if not in their. If they're 25 in 2005, that's 13 years. They're pushing 40. They gotta be.
Tony Parker was 35 years old.
Ooh.
That's it? Tony Parker's 35.
True. Manu Ginobili is 40 years old. And still playing. Not very well.
Oh, shit. Tony Parker's 30. What was he, fucking 18? Jesus Christ. He was 22, I guess, if you subtract. In 2005.
Seems like he's been here a lot longer than that. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then again, that Spurs team just always hung around. Like, what the fuck? Spurs are still relevant?
Here's the thing. Spurs are going to be relevant as long as Greg Popovich is there. He's like Belichick. He's the wizard.
Yeah, I was going to say, they are quietly, the last decade plus, they have quietly become Patriot-esque as far as the NBA goes. No matter who they fucking got, they're a contender. Shit, Tim Duncan's old ass was playing until a couple years ago. Like, when he retired, he was one of those people where I was like, you were still fucking playing? That's what we're coaching by now.
Yeah, the Spurs' Michael Jordan was Kawhi Leonard. And when he went down last year in the playoffs, it affected Popovich not at all. They ultimately lost to the Warriors, but he sees things differently. And then this whole year, they've been bouncing back and forth. He's coming back. He's not coming back. He's going to get traded. He isn't going to get traded. Are we going to play with him or not? And then they were just like, fuck it, let's just go. And Greg Popovich took his team back to the playoffs without their number one. He's a guru. So as long as he's coaching that team, they're always going to be relevant. Once again, we talk about Hall of Fame, first ballot. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, I totally agree with all that. I mean, even if I wanted to argue, I'd have to like dumb myself down even past your levels of fucking conspiracy theory shit to find one to somehow throw out there. Like, you're absolutely right. They are kind of, this stretch of the NBA at least, they're the one team who, with a changing cast, has stayed relevant.
Right. And again, in NBA, there's few coaches you could just look at and go, yep, that guy. Pat Riley is one of those guys, Phil Jackson, and Greg Popovich, just to name a few. That's the company he's keeping with how he coaches.
No, absolutely. I mean, if you wanted, no, I don't want to open that door. But all right. So, anything else on the NBA?
We'll know more next week because all these series basically just started.
Yeah, I know. Whereas in the NHL, you have one series that's over now, Bye-bye, Kings. Thanks for playing. Vegas night, sweep them out the playoffs.
Yeah, won their first series ever.
Are they going to do the impossible? Vegas, that is. Are they going to run the fucking table?
Oh, let's put it this way. They're my pick to get to the finals, but my pick out of the East to get to the finals, we'll get to in a minute. So, I mean, I didn't think it was going to be sweep LA. I thought LA was going to give them a lot more problems than they did. They seemed to match up well out of the best out of all the playoff teams. And if that's the truth, the rest of these teams better be fucking saying their prayers and eating their Wheaties and shit. Because if that's the team that matched up best with them and they just brushed their shoulder off, like, please, yeah, it's gonna be a short fucking couple series to the Cup Finals. Because to me, I expect them to win, not to sweep the series. To me, that's the biggest surprise out of this first round so far.
I don't know. What about Winnipeg, man?
So Winnipeg's a good team. They're young. They're fast. I mean, that's what wins. Speed kills in the NHL these days, and they're a fucking fast team.
And the Minnesota Wild, I think, was only relevant 1 year. They really haven't been good since they haven't been called the North Stars.
No, they signed Suter and they signed Parise in the same offseason, and that put them on a lot of people's radar in the hockey world. No, they haven't done shit with them, but, no championships, but still. That was them trying to make the announcement that we're here to play with the big boys. So, I mean, that's like what, going on 4 or 5 years ago now? Shit, I don't know. But yeah, I expect Winnipeg to win. Nashville over the Avalanche. And I actually had the Sharks over the Ducks. Whoops. Or, yeah, excuse me, no. I had the Ducks over the Sharks. I believe I did. And the Sharks...
I think you picked the Sharks, because I picked the Sharks because of Belfour.
All right, I do remember that conversation. Wow. Yeah. See, this is what happens when we take a week off.
So, am I the one that gets to say, whoops?
Yeah.
That's what happens when we take a week off. My short-term memory can only hold so much information. So, I forget who I picked 2 weeks ago. Jesus, God. I mean, moving over into the East, Pittsburgh leads Flyers. Not shocked by that.
No, but you know what I'm shocked about with that series? It's like a big-ass shoving match, like two big, gigantic men just sitting there going, fuck you. No, fuck you. You know what? Fuck you. Because have you seen the games?
I've seen highlights of some of the games, yeah.
Okay, I've seen the scores of the games.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 5-1, 5-1, 6-2. Penguins came out to make a statement in the first game, and then the Flyers were like, well, yeah, well, fuck you. And the Penguins came back and was like, no, fuck you. So Game 4 should be interesting.
I don't know. I don't think the Flyers have enough of anything to get past the fucking Penguins, but that's just me.
Yeah, I don't expect the defending champs to go down like a bitch.
I don't either, but, Game 2 was kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but you got to remember, these guys are in-state rivals. The teams don't like each other. And you also have either, it depends on how they're looking at it. The Flyers either have the good fortune to draw the NHL's best player, quote unquote, in his team in the first round, or the unfortunate luck of drawing him in his team the first round. I mean, because honestly, if I'm on a team and I take the 2-time defending champs out in the first round, we better fucking make it to the finals. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I mean, that's, this isn't a Penguins team who just fucking did a half-ass, rebuild in the offseason, let a bunch of people go, and we're like, making the playoffs is good enough. No, they want that three-peat.
Yeah, but it's funny that you said that, because their cup-winning goalie just swept the team he's facing. Just saying.
But once again, that was someone up in the top of that organization, the GM or the president of hockey operations, or a bunch of people all together got together and said, nope, he's not the goalie of the future for us.
And a collective, whoops.
I mean, well,
they're still in the playoffs. What do you mean, whoops? They're still the 1 seed.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. He's talking about whoops about letting Fleury go. I mean, because honestly, I said this in the offseason last year. If Fleury and Mrazek were both unprotected, I'd have taken Mrazek. And time has taught me that would have been a very dumb fucking move if I was the GM of the Golden Knights. Because he's in Philly and he's on a team looking up at the Penguins. The Knights went in and handled what they needed to handle, and did it with extreme prejudice.
Right. They made a statement. If any team made a statement so far in the NHL playoffs, it was the Knights. Our run during the regular season wasn't a fluke. Getting to the playoffs, not a fluke. Coming to actually win this thing is an actual possibility. You could sit here and bicker about us being the franchise or expansion or whatever. We're here, and we're for real.
No, and on top of it, they have one thing going for them that I could never remember in any Stanley Cup playoffs. They're a team that, for the most part, the rest of the league doesn't hate. They don't have a history of beating anybody else's ass. I'm talking like, rivalry type history. Obviously, they're an expansion team. If your team's not in it, and the Knights aren't in your conference, well,
cheer for the Knights.
Yeah, pretty much. I know a whole lot of Red Wings fans are like, yeah, we're pulling for the Knights because fuck the Avalanche, fuck Nashville, fuck the Ducks, fuck San Jose, Minnesota, please, that type of shit.
The irony of this whole thing is this is a team made up of everybody that nobody wanted. They all came from a different team because their GMs were like, yeah, go. I don't care about you.
Absolutely. And that's why one of the reasons I like the team, because there's this mentality that these type of third, fourth line players you can't do anything with. Well, you have a team full of them who just won the first series they ever played in playoffs. So, kind of like talk shit now. That's my attitude.
Well, if you think about it, you have a whole team with something to prove,
including Gallant, their coach.
Yep.
Who was unceremoniously let go by Florida last year, basically left on the curb with his shit and said, "We called you a cab. Your money's on the dresser, honey. I'm done with you."
Oops.
So, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know their GM, I can't even tell you who their GM is. I don't know if he was a GM who had an axe to grind. I don't know what the fuck, where he come from, but from the head coach down, it seems like a lot of people who got a lot of shit to prove on that team, and they're willing to back it up.
Oh, they proved it all season, and you could call that first round a fucking statement.
Definitely. And I mean,
we're going to finish up and wait for the rest of you guys to finish your series, see who we play next.
They're running backwards across the finish line like, hey guys, we'll be enjoying a cool cup of water as soon as you catch up,
Yeah.
Now, as far as making a statement,
the Golden Knights general manager is George McPhee. I don't know. That's who it is.
Well, from a team that made a statement in their series in the right way to a team who's doing what they always do, but yet I always fall for it. Wow, the Capitals just love to shoot themselves in the foot, don't they?
Oh my God.
Damn it! That's why I picked to win it. I picked Capitals over the Knights.
Games went to overtime. All three of them.
But that's how the Capitals lose, man.
Apparently.
They are the heartbreakers. Like, oh my God, it's not like it's a one-man team. Ovechkin has had people around him, had players around him. I mean, they even switched goalies for fuck's sake and are still making runs. First overall seed in their fucking conference. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if they lose this series and I'm Ovechkin, I got to be wondering what kind of opportunities I have in the KHL.
Hey,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Chris.
So hey, you could come play in Detroit.
Well, Capitals, no, that ain't happening. He's going to have to leave the NHL. Capitals, let me double check, but I'm damn sure his contract is pretty hefty, and they control him for quite a while. Let's see here.
Like, if he can't play hockey anymore, he's got to sell concessions.
Well, that's what I'm saying. To go to the KHL, he's going to have to probably pull it. I mean, dude, look. First of all, whatever about his contract, I'll continue to look that up. Let me just make the case for why I said if I'm him, I'm going to have to start looking at the KHL. One is he's not getting any younger, period. Two, he wanted to play in the Olympics. The NHL said he couldn't. If he'd have played in the KHL, he could have. Three, that's where he's from. And, I mean, four, what more does he have to prove in the NHL besides winning a championship? Whereas he could go over there. I don't know comparable the money he could make, but that would have to be like, he would have to be, he's got to be a national hero over there. I mean, I just can't imagine it any other way. I mean, Russia takes their hockey very seriously, so that's why I'm saying that. You get not swept, but you get booted out of the first round. How many years are you supposed to keep doing this shit, beating your head against the wall?
Yeah, it gets to be, I don't know, let's ask Kevin Durant. I'm going to stay with the team, staying with the team, staying with the team, staying with the team, staying with the team. Fuck it, I want a ring.
I mean, if you look at his stats, 7-time first-team All-Star, 4-time second-team All-Star, all-rookie team, 9 times All-Star. He's won the Hart Memorial 3 times. He's won the Ted Lindsay Award 3 times. The Art Ross is a scoring leader once. The Rocket Richard for the most goals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. I mean, it was Rookie of the Year. I'm just thinking, if I'm him, why not go back to my home, go play for a team near my home and be basically paid well and the best player probably over there right now versus staying here and always playing second fiddle to Sidney Crosby.
Needs a new fucking agent, man. You got those kind of stats, you've had that kind of career, and you ain't won a cup. Every time my agent, get me the fuck out of here.
I mean, dude, and we're talking like, okay, the years he won for the most goals scored, 65 goals, 56, 32 in a lockout shortened season, 51, 53, 50, and a measly 49 this last season. I mean, dude,
he sucks, Kortnois, man. Time to get rid of him.
You're fucking done, son.
He sucks. Kortnois, man. Oh, God. Well, that's... I don't know what else to say about Washington, man. That is... How every fucking year around this time is it the same story?
Has he had the same coach the whole time?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I'm going to have to look here. Hold on a sec.
Because at some point, with his level of talent, I mean, you got to start looking at, can the coach not close it out? Maybe the GM sucks. Like,
I mean, that's what they've said. They've changed. They built a supporting cast around them. They've changed goalies in this run they're making. I mean, they haven't missed the playoffs since what?
Since they've had them?
No, they missed 1 year. But yeah, I mean, they've missed one playoff in 10 years.
Wow.
So, I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm wasting my fucking time. And I don't think... I can't find the specifics on his contract, and I don't know why. Because I can tell you everybody else's contract, and I don't give a fuck to know. But hold on. This is... Okay, here we go.
$124 million.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of money. For a hockey player?
He's signed.
That's right. 13-year contract. That's right.
Yep. Through 2001. He'll be 34. And he's had for the last 2 seasons, and he has this last season, and the next 3 coming up, he's under contract. He has a modified no trade clause. Anybody else hearing that, or is that just me?
That was a window started fucking playing. It's my bad.
So, yeah. I mean, 13-year, $124 million, unrestricted free agent 2021. I mean, he's looking at 3 more shots at it, and he'll only be 34. You know what? I take that back. If I'd go back at 35 and play in my home country and give it 3 more shots. But unless a serious contender's come knocking on my door as an unrestricted free agent, I'm no longer in the NHL when my contract's up.
No, I think I'd have to stay, but I'd have to go to a contender. A serious contender.
Yeah.
You spend that long chasing the cup, you got to get it at least once.
Yeah, if I'm him, I'm telling my agent to send me to Pittsburgh, Vegas, send me somewhere with a chance of winning.
Tampa.
Toronto. Maybe that's what Toronto needs.
Good Lord. If he went to Pittsburgh, first of all, they couldn't work it with the salary cap. But, I mean, that's the other thing you guys got to remember. It's a salary cap league now. That's $10 million a year.
Okay, but just like Kevin Durant, you already made your money. Go get your ring. Go get your cup. $124 million? That's a lot of money.
It's true, yeah. Wasn't he hockey's first $100 million man?
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, they never seen a contract like that. So he's made his money.
Well, it's Iceman again. It's, we disagree a lot. It's kind of one thing where I agree with you. Yeah, man. Anyone with your last name will be set, for a while. Probably decades. Take the pay cut. Go get the glory, man. No one's going to remember your fucking, maybe. But no one's going to remember your fucking contract. No one's going to, do you want to be the Dan Marino of hockey?
Pretty much.
Because
I guess even though I don't fault players for doing it, and I'm not against it. It sucks when a player has to leave the team he spent his entire career with, gave up, sacrificed his body, his health, etc., playing for, and he has to go leave them to try to find a championship with another team. To me, that always, it just sucks. And I mean, I don't know how much the Stanley Cup means to him. There's been, you have to remember one of the knocks against European-born players when they started coming into the league in mass was they don't understand the tradition and blah, blah, blah behind the cup. It doesn't mean as much to them. And if you really look at it, the first team to blow that idea up was the Red Wings' first cup win in the 90s because they had the Russian 5. And I clearly remember Sergei Fedorov saying, now tell me that I don't care about winning this cup. Tell me or anyone on my team we don't care about winning this cup. But I mean, you look at someone like Datsuk. Datsuk realized Detroit's window was closing. He wasn't going to go anywhere that was going to be a contender, and he wanted to go back home. And he's tearing it up back in the KHL. Yeah, he does have hardware. That is the main difference. It all depends on how much the cup means to him. I don't know. Actually, it just bums me out because I always pick him to go deep in the playoffs, and it doesn't happen. It just sucks.
We both got snake bit by him the last 2 years.
Yeah, I know.
I unfortunate, pick your vernacular, but I got a chance to watch the New Jersey game yesterday versus Tampa Bay. They killed Tampa Bay. Go Devils. Anyways, it brought me back, Rich. It really did. It brought me back to being in my living room with you and sitting there and cheering and laughing and joking and watching. But it brought me to a question. We have 4 major sports that we can all agree are 4 major sports that we talk about. How would you guys rank them with action?
You mean as far as like entertainment value?
Kind of entertainment value, but nonstop action. Just you don't want to go take a piss because you might miss it.
In 2000, awesome. 2018,
No, but put those 4 sports in the order of action, where it's just you're glued to the TV because something's going to happen.
Football. We're talking 2018?
Yeah, this year.
Football, basketball, hockey, baseball.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm ranking them, I'm going by their most exciting moments. So if a team's down, they need a touchdown, 2-minute drive type situation, overtime playoff hockey, extra innings baseball, overtime basketball. I would probably say ain't nothing. If your team's in it and it's an elimination game and it's in overtime, there ain't nothing more stressful than watching overtime hockey. they don't take commercial breaks. There's 15 minutes between periods. That's when they go to commercial. They keep that shit moving. And those players are gassed. And I mean, to me, if we're all things equal at their most exciting moment, hockey, personally for me, football, but I could see where someone could say basketball. My problem with basketball is this, foul, send them to the line, foul, send them to the line, the last 2 minutes of the I'm not really I'm not a fan of that, period. And in baseball, because, I mean, as much as I like extra innings, tension in the playoffs, I can still get up and take a quick piss sometimes between pitches. Not missing things. So.
And see, for me, watching that game last night, hockey for me is ranked number one. It is nonstop action. It's hitting on the boards. It's passed. Across the ice. It's something's going to happen every second that you're watching that TV. So and so got checked. So and so got put in the boards. A puck went up and hit somebody in the nuts. Whatever. There's always something to watch on hockey. So for me, it's hockey, football, basketball, baseball. That's how I would rank them with action. And I miss it because here in Kansas, we don't get to watch it.
Well, you got cable?
No, we get to watch the playoffs, but we don't get to watch regular season hockey.
Yeah, but even then, you better have the correct 5 fucking cable channels that are airing the playoffs.
But
that's how ridiculous.
NBC.
It's NBC Sports Network, CNBC, the USA channel, and NHL. That's ridiculous. There's no reason for them to be all over the place like that.
They don't know how to make a TV contract, so.
Well, we've already went over that. But anyways, Well, also, playoff hockey is a different style than regular season.
100%.
One of my beefs watching this regular season hockey is anytime someone got a big hit laid on them, that both teams all of a sudden want to act like it was 1987 and Probert Kosher were on the ice. And that's just not the case. A lot of times this was guys that were skating with their heads down, not paying attention, not keeping their head on the swivel, and they got rocked. That's their problem. That's not a reason to get into a line brawl over. But that's the way the game is these days. Playoff, stakes are so much higher. Those guys aren't fucking willing to throw down unless it's going to mean something.
Well, last night with the Devils and Lightning, a Lightning player went up to a Devils player and gave him a quick "How you doing?" and put his stick between his legs.
That seems to be like a move that either I just don't remember happening as much, or they just glossed over back in the day, because I'm hearing about that more and more, even in the playoffs.
Well, the only one that comes to mind is very, very brilliant in my mind is when Belfort did it to Lapointe.
Well, I mean, if you're parked in front of the net, you're that type of player, you take any punishment from anybody. There's a lot of shit, there's a lot of little shit that we don't see, slashing them behind the knees and shit where there's no padding, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, that's why guys like Cicerelli and Holmstrom were considered warriors, because they parked their ass in front of the net and took those beatings.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, before you kind of jumped the gun there. But the one other thing I want to talk about is, did you guys see what Brad Marchand did oh shit, hold on, drawing a blank here. Anyways, he did it to one of the guys on the Leafs in their series. He appeared to lick him.
No, I heard about that last night. What is that all about?
Psyops. You want my honest answer?
Yeah,
Brad, somebody's head.
Brad Marchand is known, first of all, he does kind of have a ratty appearance to him. And people who aren't very kind to him like to compare his looks to a rat. But in this case, it's like, yeah, he kind of is. He's kind of one of those guys that he's not that far off from entering into Sean Avery territory as far as being a pest on the ice. So that should explain to you, the type of player he is and why he's disliked as much as he is. But yeah, the licking the guy, if that's what he did, I don't know why. Hold on, let me see if I can find the fucking video of it. I should have sent this to you guys. This is wonderful prep that will never get edited out, so it doesn't matter. What? Hello?
I'm here. Oh, I think Iceman's internet took shit.
Of course it did. Yes, okay, fine. Yeah, okay. It's Komarov from the wing or the leash, and Marchand, and he does appear to lick him. So,
Like I said, to me that is purely that is fucking with somebody.
well, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's doing the Sean Avery type shit. You know, remember when Sean Avery parked his ass in front of Martin, Brodeur and started waving his stick around and shit, acting a fool. There you go. I mean, this is that type of shit. But I mean, is that shit Bush League? Is that shit fucking? I mean, what are your thoughts on it here?
You do what you got to do to get in your opponent's head, man. As long as you aren't breaking any rules, fuck it. I mean, don't we sit here and lament, where hockey has gone? To me, that's kind of old school.
It's some school, middle, elementary. I don't remember even in Slapshot where they did a strip tease on the ice during the game. I don't remember any licking involved. So,
dude, if it got under his opponent's skin, it's what he wanted, man.
Yeah, but interestingly, it said, asked about it afterwards, Komarov said, I kind of liked it. To which Marchand responded, he's cute. So.
Well, see, now here in this might be, do we know if these two gentlemen have any history?
Oh, they do. They do.
Because now this sounds like you and Earl fucking with each other.
Yeah, they got a little bit of a history.
Yeah, that sounds like two dudes who have history fucking with each other. Especially now that you told me all the post game clapping.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're both antagonists. They both know their role. They both know that what's expected of them. It just seems funny that instead of fighting, this is how it was decided. Like,
maybe that was kind of a little subtle fuck you to Bettman. Ever think of that one?
Maybe.
Oh, I can't punch you? How about I lick you? See what the coach does then.
On Mondays, the Sporting News' Mark Masters followed up with Komarov about Marchand taking some liberties on his ice. His response was perfect. About the kiss. How is he sending us shit? How is he sending shit over the internet when if his internet's not working? And here he is.
Yeah, and he's back online.
Get him in here.
Let's get his window back. We see you, Ice.
Says for you to call him.
I just did.
Oh.
Hello?
Okay, there he is.
Howdy.
Oh, okay.
Well, you don't like a man licking another man?
We were talking about the back and forth between Marchand and Komarov. It's pathetic. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Some Russian guy.
Some Rusky. In the Bruins Leaf series, and about the shit talking they got going back and forth. And I was asking, okay, going up and either licking or attempting to kiss a player to antagonize him, is that Bush League? Is that funny? Is it funny and Bush League? What's your take on it?
He's gone again.
Christ, dude.
Bush League. All right. Cool. Well, that's it for the Iceman this week. He says bye.
Yeah, apparently technical difficulties have reached out to Middle America. So, well, anyways, yeah, so that pretty much wraps it up. I mean, unless you got anything else, Chris.
No, we pretty much hit on. This is a slow sports week, man. Not much. Although we didn't hit on the football. What Mark Sanchez was using PEDs for what? Keep that spot on the bench warm?
That's exactly what I thought when I heard Fernando Vina use steroids. I'm like, to do what? Make his mustache thicker? The motherfucker didn't do anything worthy of being on steroids. But that goes to tell you, man, these guys, any perceived edge they can get, some of these guys are willing to take it.
I guess so, man.
To me, if that was him playing on steroids and that elevated his game, then he probably shouldn't have been in the NFL in the first place.
The question is, was his butt roided up during the fumble? Is that why his butt was just a rock?
Well, his hands weren't very soft. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I know, right? But, yeah, that's about it. Iceman says goodbye. He really has no problem with a man licking another man. He just had internet difficulties. So we'll just tell you to follow us on Twitter, Sportgy Podcasts. Email the show, sportgy@ChristopherMedia.net. Like, share us on Facebook. And we'll see you next week.
All right, later, guys. All right, so
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook by searching for Christopher Media. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
At Jewelers Mutual, we're a little obsessed with jewelry. Obsessed like auctioneers with talking fast.
50, we're gonna
pop stars with auto-tune. And dentists with asking questions.
So, how did he propose?
After they've put their hands in your mouth.
Great.
Yes, we've made jewelry our obsession for over 100 years. We love it so much we named our kids Ruby, Amber, and Opal.
Venti soy latte for Opal?
At Jewelers Mutual, we insure jewelry and only jewelry, which is why people who are also obsessed with jewelry trust us with theirs.
A different future starts with you. That's why GoDaddy does more than help you find a name. You can create, sell, and get found online so any small business can drive change or build an empire. Because old ideas aren't cutting it anymore. This new year, we need a new generation of thinking, your way of thinking. So whatever you have in mind that will help make a different future, find everything you need to get started at GoDaddy.com. Because the future isn't decided yet. It's still ours to win. Start different at GoDaddy.com.